Struggling to pick which Fire Tatari to evolve? You're in the right place. I'm Denshi, and in this video, we're ranking every Fire Tatari line based on their overall versatility and long-term value from early game T1 all the way to late game T4 powerhouses. Let's dive right in. With Poakie and Blowfin officially joining the roster, it's time for an updated Fire tier list. To help you decide where to invest your hard-earned resources, I've ranked every Fire Tatari line based on their kit, overall versatility, and usefulness across the 5 main game modes. Let's walk through the tier list so you know who's actually worth taking all the way to T4. First up is the Pyropup line. This is a must-upgrade pick, especially for late game modes and PvP. At T1 and T2, it's already super solid thanks to its 3-lane coverage. On top of that, Pyropup boasts high base HP and defense, allowing it to take extra hits from Zobos on the front line. Once you evolve it to T3, it becomes a game changer because its skill now inflicts weaken, which reduces enemy attack power by 20%. And its attack range expands to a 2x3 grid in front. That massive utility makes it a top tier pick across almost every game mode, with only real exception being the Horde Invasion. Overall, it's an A tier investment. Next up is the Sparkrow line. Sparkrow is a decent damage dealing unit mostly used in early game stages and in early boss challenge clears. It's a solid starter pick for beginners since it's super fast and cheap to upgrade early on. However, as you progress through the game, this line quickly gets left behind because it only caps out at a 2-stage evolution. Since there are far better fire options for mid to late game that scale much higher, I'm dropping this one into B tier. Coming up next is the Shrimpyro line. This is easily one of the best fire DPS units in the game once you evolve it to T3. Its skill punch count increases from 3 to 5 hits, and it gains a burn effect that boosts its overall damage by 15%. Because of that raw single target DPS, it's super useful across dojo, boss challenge, gold rush, and standard stages. Honestly, Shrimpyro was an epitome of a perfect Tatari, right up until its Horde kit got nerfed back in the February 11th patch. Since it now struggles in Horde Invasion, it falls just short of S tier, making it a very strong, highly recommended A tier pick. Next up is the Sparkit line. Sparkit boasts one of the highest damage multipliers in the entire game at 130%. While it doesn't do a lot at T1, it becomes super useful once you evolve it to T2 and beyond. Its upgraded skill unlocks the Bloom effect, which scatters attack in multiple directions to hit almost every Zobos nearby. Because of that massive AoE damage, this line is a staple pick across all 5 game modes, easily earning its spot in S tier. Coming right up is the Tindercub line. Tindercub is a niche specialist unit that shines primarily in dojo, early stages, and occasionally in PvP. At T1 and T2, it excels early on thanks to its solid sustain kit. Once you evolve it to T3, its skill gets a great upgrade that applies burn while dealing bonus damage to burning units, turning it into a tanky sustain pick that can still dish out decent damage. Even though a fully evolved Tindercub is in a league of its own, its lack of versatility across other game modes keeps it strictly in B tier. Next up is the Blowfin line. This unit is a defensive powerhouse that fills a super unique tank and support role for your lineup. At T1 and T2, Blowfin and Puffbelly act as reliable frontliners. They counterattack with AoE damage whenever close-range enemies hit them, and self-heal whenever they aren't counterattacking. Plus, starting at T2, it throws Sushi to an ally to provide extra healing and an attack boost. Once you evolve it to T3, its utility gets a great upgrade. It now throws Sushi to 2 allies, doubling its team-wide healing and attack buff potential. This turns it into an incredible sustain engine for Horde, stages, and dojo. This line easily locks in an A-tier spot. Next up is the Cindermunk line. Similar to Sparkrow, Cindermunk is a decent damage dealing unit mostly used for early game stages and boss challenge clears. It's another solid fire starter pick for beginners since it's super easy to upgrade early on. However, unlike Sparkrow, Cindermunk line can still find some niche use in the late game for boss challenge thanks to its full 5-lane coverage. But because it's capped at 2-stage evolution line, its overall stats and scaling eventually fall behind other Tatari in almost every game mode, making it fall into B tier. Next up is the Blueflick line. This line is easily another one of the best fire DPS options in the game, thanks to its powerful AoE burn skill that can be enhanced for even more damage. What makes Blueflick even better is that it's one of the easiest Tatari to evolve to T3, requiring fewer copies compared to most other lines. That low investment cost makes it a go-to DPS for beginners, especially when resources are scarce, because it brings incredible value and high performance across all 5 game modes. Blueflick easily earns its place in S tier. Next up is the Souphog line. This is another niche-specific healer Tatari that shines primarily in Horde Invasion and Dojo. It brings a ton of team utility by providing damage, healing, an attack boost, and shields for its allies. While it's top tier for survival-heavy content like Horde and Dojo, it lacks the raw offense and versatility needed for super competitive modes like Boss Challenge and Gold Rush. Because its use is specialized, this line lands in B tier. Next up is the Flameow line. Flameow is another Tatari line that has yet to get its T4 evolution. Maybe we'll see that in a future update. At T1 and T2, it doesn't offer much value outside of being a filler unit, though it does share a synergy bond with the Kitazap line for an extra attack speed boost. However, Flameow becomes super useful once you evolve it to T3. Its skill gets upgraded so that after it attacks 12 times, it provides a massive attack boost to your allies. That buff mechanic makes it a fantastic asset for Horde, Boss Challenge, and standard stage clearing. Because of that team-wide utility, it easily deserves a spot in A tier. Coming up next is the Poakie line. Being a Guardian Tatari, Poakie provides a durable frontline while spitting flames that inflict AoE burn, occasionally triggering a continuous flame spit for extra damage. Once you evolve it further, its skill range upgrades to a large AoE, allowing it to wipe out entire clusters of enemies at once. Even though Poakie falls slightly behind Pyropup in Gold Rush since it lacks a weaken debuff, it still acts as a great alternative. Its frontline durability and burn-consuming DPS easily earn it a spot right in A tier. Next up is the Fumekit line. This is another Tatari that has yet to receive its T4 evolution. Fumekit is often overlooked by players because it doesn't have any use outside of Boss Challenge. However, it can actually lock down wide areas pretty well, thanks to its full 5-lane coverage. Its kit revolves around emitting noxious fumes that deal continuous AoE damage, which frequently spread and ignite for extra explosive burst, especially once you evolve it to T3. While that constant fume and ignite DPS gives it a decent niche for Boss Challenge, its lack of burst utility in other game modes holds it back, making it a situational B tier pick. Last but not the least, we have the Ashlarva line. At T1 and T2, its skill range is pretty limited since it only covers 4 adjacent tiles. However, it becomes vastly more effective once you evolve it to T3, which upgrades its skill to a large 3x3 AoE ring of flames. Not only does this ring deal AoE damage, but it also heals all surrounding allies and grants them an attack boost. Because it acts as a durable healer-tank hybrid, it provides incredible frontline sustain or middle buffer for Horde, Boss Challenge, Dojo, and Standard stages. While it misses out on S tier due to its Gold Rush utility, this line deserves to be in the A tier. Here's the summary of our tier list. Which Fire Tatari are you currently running in your main lineup? Let me know down in the comments if you agree with this tier placements, or if you'd rank any of these fire units differently. Up next, we're breaking down the list for the next element line. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Good luck, keep on shining, and I'll see you in this creature field world.